Like this so paper. Abi o should keep this on.
When it's small, let's use that.
All right, you are welcome to JAMB Biology Day 1 session, and this is a compiled biology question as far as JAMB UTME 2025 is concerned. So if you are joining the live, please just stay tuned, and you can also check out our live stream which we have done for chemistry 2025 questions. So that is just it. We'll be answering some questions here for biology that has been dropped, so please pay a keen attention to what you'll be seeing on the board, because there's a probability that these questions may get themselves repeated tomorrow. For those of you that will be writing tomorrow, that is Friday, or for those of you that will be writing on Saturday and next week. So let's go on right now. We have JAMB Biology. JAMB Biology 2025. I have here our day 1 question. Our day 1 questions. That's our JAMB Biology day 1 question. So hope you can see the board. Yes. So we have here number 1 question. What is the basic unit of life? That is the number 1 word question. This may sound so simple, but that is the word JAMB word compile word question. This may sound so simple because our biology is what self-explanatory. What is the basic unit of what life? So number 1 JAMB question: what is the basic unit of what life? If you are not yet in our WhatsApp group, after this review, I will be dropping this PDF in the WhatsApp group. So make sure you get my WhatsApp number. Chat me on WhatsApp to be added to our 0706 2746 to be added to our WhatsApp number, where you will get real life questions on biology, chemistry, physics, government, and the rest, while we are waiting for mathematics to drop. We are still waiting for our mathematics questions to drop. So number 1 question: what is the basic unit of life? What is the basic unit of life? We have A, we have our cell. We have our cell. B, we have our tissue. B, we have tissue. C, we have organ. And D, we have our system. Without wasting much time, we all know that our basic unit of life is the cell. The cell is the basic unit of life. But in case tomorrow you still go and write this exam and you don't see anything like the basic unit of life, you see something like the functional. Instead of seeing basic, you are seeing the simplest functional. Please note that the both of them, simplest functional and the basic unit of life, still means the same T. So what you can see here is known as the cell organization of life. The cell organization of life, which runs from the cell to the tissue, from the tissue to the organ, and from the organ to the system. But in some textbook, for some textbook, you see things like organ system, and system. But for the purpose of JAMB, you will only see cell, tissue, organ, and system. This is the first question. Moving to the second question, it says, what is the process by which cells become specialized? What is the process by which cell becomes specialized? What is the process? What is the process? What is the process by which cells becomes specialized? What is the process by which cell become specialized? You all know that before a cell forms a tissue, and a tissue is specialized cell. But now, which process makes this cells become specialized? We have here A, we have our mitosis. A, we have our what? Mitosis. B, we have our meiosis. B, we have our meiosis. Yes, we have our meiosis. C, we have our differentiation. And D, we have our what? Osmosis. We have our osmosis. Just like I told people that if you want to answer what exam questions very what fast, one of the things you need to do is to do what they call elimination.
Yes.
You eliminate. Looking at this option, osmosis is not even what related to this what question, because osmosis is based on what semi-permeable what membrane, right? Semi-permeable what membrane. But what we are asking you now is based on what cells, and it's based on their what specialization. Are you getting it? So it is not what mitosis. Mitosis is what division. The meiosis and the mitosis is based on the what the divisions of what cells, while the what osmosis is not what really what related. And it being the still like about diffusion, right? Movement of what gas or movement of what particles, right? That is when we'll have start talking about what osmosis. For what we have right now is what the word C, which is what differentiation. So differentiation is a what process by which cells what becomes what specialized. Differentiation is what the process by which cells become what specialized. No, it is not mitosis. It is not mitosis. I can see successful says A. It is not what A. It is what differentiation, and differentiation is what C. Differentiation is what C. Let's move on to the next question. The next question here is, what is the function of the cell wall membrane? What is the function of the cell wall membrane? What is the function of the cell membrane? If you notice something, you notice that this question is basically on cell. That means cell is what very what compulsory that a JAMB must what know. That's why I've been making videos on how you what topics like cell, topic like ecology, topic like heredity, topic like evolution must always what repeat the word self. Are you getting it? So these four topics are always what important. That is why you see that most of the question is what on self. So it says what was I saying? I said,
what is the function of the cell membrane?
Okay, what is the function of the word cell word membrane? What is the function? What is the function of the cell word membrane? What is the function of the cell wall membrane? We have here what A, to control what cell wall growth. A, to control what cell wall growth. To control cell wall growth. The function of the cell membrane: A, to control cell growth. B, to regulate what enters and leaves the cell. To regulate what enters and leave the what cell. To regulate what enters and leave the what cell. C, to synthesize proteins. To synthesize what proteins. To synthesize what proteins. And D, to store what genetic what information. To store what genetic what information. So the question here is, what is the function of the word cell wall membrane? What is the function of the word cell wall membrane? A, to control what cell growth. B, to regulate what enters and leaves the cell. C, to synthesize proteins. And D, to store what genetic what information. Now when you talk about growth, whether in what plant or in what animal, okay, this is generally on what cell. So when you talk about growth, whether in what animal cell or in what plant what cell, what is the major focus that enhances what or influences growth is what hormones. So the hormones is the what major what contributing factor when it comes to what growth, either in what plant cell or what animal what cell. So to control cell growth is not the function of what the cell what membrane, because the cell membrane is not what an hormone. Are you getting it? The cell membrane is not what an hormone. The hormone responsible for cell growth in plant is the what? Do you know the answer? The hormone responsible for cell growth in plant is the auxin. Is the what? Auxin. So even though you are saying plant cell, it doesn't what fall. So the function of the cell membrane is not to control what cell what growth. So this option is what? Wrong, right? B, to regulate what enters and leaves the cell. C, to synthesize what proteins. Let's do one because B is the correct word answer. To regulate what enters and leaves the cell. C, when you say to synthesize what proteins, the function of the cell membrane is not what to synthesize what proteins, right? The function, the synthesis of protein is done by what? The cellular organelle that is known as what? The ribosomes, right?
Yes, sir.
It's done by the cellular organelle that is known as the what? Ribosomes. So C is what? Wrong. Then D, to store genetic what? Information. To store genetic information is not a function of the what? Cell what? Membrane. To store genetic information is done by the what? Nucleus. So one of the functions of the nucleus is to what? To protect the genetic integrity of the word cell. So what is the function of the cell membrane? It is what? B, to regulate what enters and leaves the word cell. That is just it. In the same vein, another question just falls in from what I just said. That is why when you read past questions, you tend to possibly predict the next questions or your exam questions. Just like here, it says, which organelle is responsible for protein what? Synthesis. Which organelle is responsible for what? Protein what? Synthesis. Which organelle is responsible for protein what? For protein what? Synthesis. Which organelle is responsible for what? Protein what? Synthesis. We have A, ribosomes. We have A, ribosomes. We have B, lysosomes. We have C, Golgi what? Apparatus. And we have our D, which is the what? Mitochondria. So, what do you think is the answer?
Sir, A.
We have which cell organelle? Which organelle is responsible for protein synthesis? We have A, ribosomes. Alright, someone is calling me on WhatsApp. I will cut this call. So we have A, ribosomes, we have B, lysosomes, and we have C, Golgi apparatus, and D, mitochondria. Drop the answer. What do you think is the answer? If you can see it, which organelle is responsible for protein synthesis? So it is not going to be what? Mitochondria, right? We said the mitochondria is responsible for what? Tissue or what? Cellular what? Respiration. It is also known as the what? The powerhouse of the what? Cell. It is also known as the what? Powerhouse of the what? Cell. Responsible for what? Cellular what? Respiration. Responsible for what? Cellular what? Respiration. That is a function of the what? Mitochondria. Therefore, the Golgi apparatus is responsible for what? Packaging. It is responsible for what? The packaging. Then lysosomes, just like we all know, from the word lysis. Lysosome from what? Lysis. It is responsible for what? Degenerating. Right? It is known for the what? Destruction of what? Dead what? Cells. Cells that are what? Dead. The lysosomes is responsible for what? The degenerating. And another name for lysosomes, which is very, very important that you know, is known as what? The suicide what? Back of the what? Cell. The suicide back of the what? Cell. That is another name for what? The what? Lysosomes. Then for the what? Ribosomes, as you can see. Alright, successful, you are correct. So the correct answer there is what? The ribosomes. The ribosomes is the what? Organelle responsible for what? Protein what? Synthesis. Let's move on to the next one. You have to find out that biology is all what? They are all what? Related. Remember the first question when I was trying to explain about mitosis, right? I said the mitosis is responsible for what? Division. Did I say something like that? Division. When the other answer was differentiation. I say mitosis is responsible for what? Division. Now, just below number 7 question says, what is the process by which cells divide to produce new cells? What is the process by which cells divide to produce what? New cells. What is the process? What is the process by which cells divide to produce what? New what? Cell. To produce what? New what? Cells. What is the process? That means cells divide to produce what? New cells. A, we have what? Mitosis. B, we have what? Meiosis. C, we have what? Photosynthesis. And D, we have our what? D, we have our what? Respiration. So the question is, the process by which cells divide to produce new cells is known as A, mitosis, B, meiosis, C, photosynthesis, and D, what? Respiration. Checking from the question there, you get to find out that C and D is not what? Among. Alright, we have successful, you have the answer correct. We have Christian Eric. Christian Eric, you are also what? Correct. So the correct answer there is what? Mitosis. So Christian Eric and successful, you are what? Correct. The answer there, whereby cells divide to produce new cells, is known as what? Mitosis. Let's move on to the next question. Let's move on to the next question. As you can see here, it says majority of the question here is based on cell. Say I'm just seeing questions on cells and I am tired because I just explained everything about cells. The next one here is, which organelle is responsible for modifying and packaging what? Proteins? Which organelle did I just talk about that is responsible for packaging? The Golgi what? Apparatus. So we have here A, Golgi apparatus, B, lysosomes, C, mitochondria, and D, what? Ribosome. The answer is what? Golgi what? Apparatus. Golgi apparatus is the only what? Cellular organelle that is responsible for what? The modification and the packaging of what? Proteins. We also have the next question just below it. It says, what is the function of what? Lysosomes. Function of what? Lysosomes. It says A, to synthesize proteins. That is what? Wrong, right?
Yes, sir.
B, to store genetic information. That is what? Wrong. Am I correct?
Yes.
C, to digest and recycle cellular waste. And D, to regulate cell growth. The answer is what? To digest and what? Recycle what? Cellular what? Waste. I already said the function of the lysosomes. The lysosomes is responsible for what? Degeneration, right? That is what I say. Degeneration. I said the function of the lysosomes is responsible for what? Degeneration. So degeneration simply means to what? Digest and what? Recycle what? Cellular what? Waste. The next question. What is the study of heredity and what? Variation? Please, anybody that wrote JAMB this first day of JAMB, anybody that wrote JAMB as far as 24th April is concerned, that person is supposed to have nothing less than 90 plus in biology. Because what I am seeing here is as if it is primary, so let's say primary or SS1. But the only problem there is that when you enter the exam hall, the kind of tension you will face after solving from physics, after entering English, you get to find out that your brain will you start what? Getting what? Tense up. That is why it is always advised that when you are answering questions, you should start with what? The simplest what? Top subject. Start with the what? Simplest subject before you move on to the what? Before you move on to the what? Hard what? One. Especially if you are writing things like chemistry, physics, biology, and English. Start with what? Biology. That is always what? Simple. So the next question is, what is the study of heredity and variation? These questions are what? Straight what? Forward. What is the study of what? Heredity and what? Study of heredity and what? Variation. Study of heredity and what? Variation. We have A, botanics. We have botany. We have B, we have ecology. We have C, we have evolution. And we have D, we have what? Genetics. So what is the study of what? Heredity and what? Variation. We have here A, botany, B, ecology, C, evolution, and D, what? Genetics. Christian Eric, you are what? Wrong. The study of heredity and variation is not what? Ecology. The study of what? Heredity and variation is not what? Ecology. So if you know the answer, you can drop it. Yes, Ushe Gospel. Oshe Gospel, you are correct. Godwin Divine, you are also what? Correct. So the study of heredity and variation, the study of what? It's not what? Botany, neither is it what? Ecology, neither is it what? Evolution. So therefore, the study of heredity and variation. The next question: which of the following is an example of a dominant trait? Which of the following is an example? Which of the following is an example of what? A dominant what? Trait? Which of the following? Which of the following is an example of what? Dominant what? Trait? Which of the following is an example of what? A dominant what? Trait? We have here A. Tallness in pea plants. Tallness in pea plants. A. The tallness in pea plants. Tallness in pea plants. Yes. We have B. The red color in flowers. Red colors in what? Flowers. We have C. We have tallness in pea plants, red color in flowers. We have C. The white color in flowers. White colors in what? Flowers. So what is what? A dominant what? Trait. That dominant trait is a trait that what? We have the word, the dominant trait, and we also have the word recessive trait, right? The dominant trait covers the word recessive or trait. You get to understand. So tallness in pea plants, red colors in flowers, white colors in flowers. These are not examples of what? Dominant or trait. So the correct answer there is what? A. Tallness in what? Pea what? Plant. Because there are some pea plants that are what? Short. Pea plants that are what? Tall. So for the tallness in pea plant to dominate, the tallness in pea plant is an example of what? A dominant what? Trait. Francis, you are correct. Chizimidri, promise, you are what? Correct. A. That is what? Tallness in what? Pea what? Plants. You are correct. So let's move on to the next question. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is an example of a genetic disorder? Which of the following is an example of a genetic what? Disorder? Which of the following? Which of the following is a disorder that affects the what? Genes, right? So which of the following is a genetic disorder? So if you are just joining the live stream, this is JAMB Biology 25 Day 1 questions, and we already have a WhatsApp group where we are dropping these questions. We have dropped questions for physics, we have dropped questions for chemistry, we have dropped questions for English language. So possibly after this live stream, I'll be dropping questions for biology and mathematics and what government and the what rest. So this is what for biology what students, and this is what the one word question. These are what the legit what the one questions that JAMB wrote today as far as JAMB Biology is what concerned. So the question is, which of the following is a what genetic what disorder? We have what? A. Diabetes. We have A. Diabetes. We have B. Hypertension. We have C. Sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell what? Anemia. And so the question is, which of the following is the what genetic what disorder? Omo, people are hot to Francis Ikena, Christian Eric, Omo, Apostle series. I can see you, David. David, my guy, I can see you. We are joining the live stream. So the correct answer there is what? Which of the following is a genetic disorder? The correct answer is what? C, which is what? Sickle cell anemia. I can see David, the Apostle series. David is my student in medical college and is part of this live stream. Thank you so much, David, for joining. So the correct answer there is what? Sickle cell anemia. So the correct answer is what? Sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is a genetic disorder that can pass from generation to generation. That can pass from generation from generation. The next question says, what is the process by which genetic information is one generation to another? Which of the It says, what is a process by which genetic information is passed from what one generation to what another? What is the process by which what is the process by which genetic what information is passed from what one generation to what the next, is passed from one generation to the what, from one generation to what the next. So from your grandfather to your father, from you to your what children, to your children, to their what next what children. We have what a mutation. Is it mutation? No, it's not what mutation. So this mutation I'm putting it to what complete the what option, because I already know that is what wrong. We have what B, we have genetic what drift. We have what genetic what drift. We have C, we have the gene flow. We have gene flow, and we have D, we have heredity. So what do you think is the answer, or what is the answer? Christian, Eric, the answer is what? Hereditary. Chiagoze, Andrew, yes, you are correct. Lillian Choma, you are correct. Me, correct. Wigwe, whether Wigwe Divine, you are correct. Eze Chimobi, you are what? Correct. Okay, someone is asking whether these questions are biology questions. Yes, these are JAMB biology questions for 24th of April 2025. So I have access to these questions. The moment they are through, they get sent to me, one of my team members, and I come here live streaming them and also dropping it in the WhatsApp group. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, this is my number 07062462746. You get access to chemistry, physics, biology, mathematics, government, and the what rest. So what is a process by which genetic information is passed from one generation to another? It is not what mutation, neither is it what genetic drift or what gene flow. The correct answer is what hereditary. Hereditary is the what process of what genetic what the passage of what genetic what drift. Genetic drift is based on the transfer of what genes. It's based on the transfer of genes. It's related to this what mutation. You understand? Where there's an utterance, where you alter, you understand, the genetic what information. So it's related to this what the mutation. But what we are looking at is what the passage, how we can what transfer it. So it is not as what heredity. So let's move on to the next question. The next question here is, what is the process by which genetic information is used to synthesize proteins? What is a process by which genetic information is used to synthesize what proteins? What is a process by which we use genetic what information to synthesize what protein? Normally protein is being synthesized by what ribosomes, right? Yeah. But now at this particular time we are using what genetic what information. So what is the process by which genetic information is used to synthesize for proteins? By which genetic information is used to what synthesize what proteins? Is used to synthesize what proteins? We have A, transcription. We have transcription. B, we have translation. B, we have what? Translation. C, we have what? Mutation. And D, we have none of the word above. First of all, there's an answer for this here. So me putting the none above, the moment I see question, I know that none of the above is what out of the word option. So the process by which genetic information is used to synthesize proteins is known as what? Someone says A. Francis Ikena, he says no. Francis Ikena, we have already done we did the live stream so you can check out the live stream we already did for chemistry. So Christian, transcription, the process by which genetic information is used to synthesize protein, is not transcription. It is not what? Transcription. So A is not the correct answer. A is not the correct answer. Lillian, Chioma, A is not the correct answer. Miracle Promise, A is not the correct answer. The synthesis of proteins using what? Genetic information is not none of the above. It's not mutation, and it is not what? Transcription. So Chiagoze Andrew is what? Correct. The answer is what? Translation. Translation is a what? Process by which genetic information is used to synthesize what? Proteins. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is a type of what? Genetic what? Testing. Which of the following is a type of what? Genetic what? Testing. Which of the following is a type of what? Genetic what? Testing. Which of the following is a type of what? Genetic testing. Which of the following is a type of what? Genetic testing. Genetic what? Testing. We have a prenatal testing. A prenatal what? Prenatal what? Testing. We have B, newborn screening. We have the newborn screening. We have C, genetic counseling. Genetic counseling. And we have D, all of the above. All of the above. So which of these is a type of genetic what? Testing? Which of these, let me see this picture. Which of these is a type of what? Genetic what? Testing? We have A, prenatal testing. We have prenatal testing. We have B, newborn screening. We have C, genetic counseling. And we have D, all of the what? Above. C. Let me see. Okay, I have Francis Ikena saying all of the above. And we have Chiagoze Andrew. Chiagoze Andrew and Francis Ikena and Wigbe Divine. You are what? Correct. You are what? Correct. The correct answer, Berlin. No, it's not A. It's not A. It's not what? A. Right. So the correct answer there is what? D. All of them are types of what? Genetic what? Testing. Yes, Joshua Okafor, you are what? Correct. Successful, you are what? Correct. All of them, both prenatal testing, both newborn screening, genetic counseling, are all type of what? Genetic what? Testing. The next question says, the next question says, what is the study of the interactions between organisms and their what? Environment? Someone mentioned, there was someone that mentioned about ecology in the last week. Someone gave an answer about ecology, and I said it wasn't correct. Now this is where ecology option was come into play. The study of what? The interactions between an organism and their environment. I will just give the answer. The answer is what? Ecology. That is what we have. It says, what is the study of the interactions between organisms and their environment? We have A, ecology, B, evolution, C, genetics, and D, botany. The answer is what? Ecology. Ecology is the what? Interaction. It's equals to what? Interaction of what? Organisms plus our environment. So for me to connect with my environment, for me to interact with my natural environment, that is what is known as what? Ecology. You are what? Correct. We have Wigwe Divine, you are correct. Eze Chiamobi, you are correct. Christiana Chis Midri Miracle Promise, you are correct. Tit Wawa Nelson, you are also what? Correct. So let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is an example of what? A symbiotic what? Relationship. Which of the following is an example of what? A symbiotic what? Relationship. Which of the following is an example of what? Is an example of a what? Symbiotic what? Relationship. It's an example of what? A symbiotic relationship. We have a relationship. We have a predator. We have the predator-prey relationship. Predator-prey relationship. We have B, commensalism. We have commensalism. We have C, mutualism. And we have D, parasitism. Parasitism. So which of the following is an example of what? A predator is an example of what? A symbiotic what? Relationship. You are correct. Yes, mutualism is correct. Francis Ikena, you are correct. Wigwe Divine, you are correct. Chiamobi, you are correct. We have Chiagoze Andrew, you are correct. Miracle Promise, you are correct. Lillian Choma, it is not commensalism, rather it is what? Mutualism, because each of them gets to what? Benefit from what? Each other. So an example of a symbiotic relationship is what? Mutualism. Mutualism is a type of relationship or a type of a feeding relationship where each of the what? Organisms tends to what? Benefit from what? Each what? Other. The next question we have here is, what is the term for the maximum number of organisms that an environment can support? What is the term for the maximum number? What is the term? What is the word term for the word maximum what? Number? For the maximum number? For the maximum number of organisms that an environment can support, that an environment can what? Support. We have A, carrying capacity. The carrying capacity. We have B, population density. We have C, ecosystem. And we have what? D, habitat. We have what? D, which is what? Habitat. So drop your answers. Let me see. So what do you say? The question is, what is the term for the maximum number of organisms that an environment can what? Support? Someone is saying B. It is not population density. Please remove population density. We have Eze Chamobi. Eze Chamobi is correct. We have Miracle Promise. Miracle Promise, you are what? Correct. Haxan Raliad. It is not what? The population what? Density. It is not what? Population what? Density. The correct answer there is not even what? Habitat. It is not what? Ecosystem. It is not what? Population what? Density. The maximum number of organisms that an environment can support. Chiagoze, you are correct. John Beyim, you are correct. Berlin, you are correct. Wigwe Divine, you are what? Correct. The maximum number of organisms environment can support is not what? The carrying what? Capacity. It's not the what? Carrying what? Capacity. We have the next question here. It says, Tenia solium can be found in Tenia solium. This is the word number 24 questions. If you need access to these past questions, please chat me up on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is there. I will add you to a group where you will get access to all these word questions. So it says Tenia solium Tenial solution, it is expected that when it comes to a parasite, right, you would underline. Please take note. I've not seen it here. It's not a question, but it can be a question tomorrow for you. When you are writing parasite with your pen or with your hand, pencil, marker, you would underline. But when you are typing, you would italicize. When you are writing, you would underline, and when you are typing, you would italicize. Italicize is when you see things like this in the laptop, slanty, so you would italicize. So let me underline. It says Tenial solution can be found in Tenial solution can be found in A. Pig, B. Cattle, and C. Poultry, D. None of the word above. None of the word above. So what is the word answer? Tenial solution can be found in what? A.
Pig.
Which is what? Pig. Let me see. Tenial solution can be found in what? Pig. Tenial solution can be found in what? Pig. So if you need access to these questions, please make sure you chat me up on WhatsApp. Yes, you are correct. The muzzle of what? Pig. You are very word specific. That is the muzzle of what? Pig. The next question there says, plants that have special devices for trapping and digesting insects are plants that have special devices for trapping and digesting. Boy, blood is hot. Your blood is hot. We have A. We are almost coming to the end. I just have 8 questions here with me, but I believe the questions is more than that. So by the time I go online on WhatsApp, my team members, almost someone has already given the answer when I've not read the question. Someone says Carnivorous. Is a JAMB. You are getting 100 over 100 as far as JAMB Biology is concerned. For you to give me the answer without me even mentioning the options, you have what? Correct. The process or the plants, any plants that have what? Special device for what? Trapping and digesting insects, and known as what? Carnivorous what? Plants. And a perfect example of this is the what? Venus what? Fly what? Trap. We have the Venus what? Fly what? Trap. Yes, Ogbe Kenneth, you are welcome to the live stream. You are welcome to the what? Live stream. You are welcome to the what? Live stream. So let's check another question. The enzyme that is present in saliva, we are coming gradually to the end of this what? Live stream. The enzyme that is present in saliva, our saliva, what enzyme is present in this what? Saliva? We have A. Renin. We have A. Renin. We have B. Lipase. We have C. Petaline. We have A. Renin. We have B. Lipase. And we have C. Petaline. I can't see the D. I can't see the D. But I believe with this, you already have the answer because the answer is already on the board. The answer is already on the board. So what is the answer? We have, yes, Miracle Promise, you are what? Correct. The answer is what? Peter what? Lane. Yes, we have Francis Ikena, you are correct. Christian Eric, you are correct. John Beyim, you are what? Correct. Opaleye Abdurrahman, you are what? Correct. You are what? Correct. The answer is what? Peter what? Lane. Hazan Raleigh, you are what? Correct. The answer is what? Peter what? Lane. This is what? An enzyme that is found in what? The saliva. Alright, so let's, which question again do you have here? Okay, I have another one. The movement of minerals and compounds within a plant occurs during, we are almost getting to the end of these questions. That is, so if you need this question, please make sure you chat me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is what? There. My WhatsApp number is there. So let's move on. It says, the movement of minerals The movement of minerals and chemical compounds within what? A plant. The movement of minerals and chemical what? Compound within a plant occurs during A. Transportation, B. Transpiration, C. Translocation, and D. Locomotion. So the movement of what? Minerals and what? Chemical what? Compounds within a plant occurs during, yes, someone just mentioned something about xylem. Yes, you are correct, all of you are correct, apart from Abdurrahman. It is not transportation. It is not what? Transportation. Neither is it what? The correct answer there is what? Translocation. It is not what? Transpiration, transportation, locomotion. No, it is what? The movement of minerals and chemical compounds within what? A plant. Within what? A plant occurs during what? Translocation. And this movement can be done through the what? Through the what? Xylem. Through the what? Xylem, and also the what? Phloem. The xylem and the what? Phloem. Please note, it is not what? Transportation. It is not transpiration. Neither is it what? Locomotion. Because despite the fact that they put what? Movement, you have to know that biological terms is different from our normal day-to-day life what? Terms. So when it comes to biology, the movement of what? Minerals and these chemical what? Compounds within a plant is known as what? Transportation. Sorry, it's known as translocation, and this is done by the what? Special what? Organelles that is responsible, known as what? The xylem and the what? Phloem. The next question I have here is, which of the following is a simplest living organism? Which of the following is a simplest living organism? Which of the following is a simplest living organism? Please, if you are just joining the live stream for the first time, my name is Basi Ejoba, and I'm a 400 level student in the University of Calabar. I help students level up their academic game, and I also share helpful tips on this channel focusing on personal development. If you love content like this, please help me click on the red subscribe button so I can continue getting updates into my job videos like this, and so that you will help me grow. And so today we are focusing on our JAMB Biology 2025 Day 1 word question. This exam was written on the 24th of April 2025. So we also have a WhatsApp group where we drop questions after the exams. We tend to compile these questions, and this is my WhatsApp number 07062462746. Chat me on WhatsApp so that you can have access to this password questions. Currently we have dropped for chemistry, we have dropped for physics, we have dropped for English language. So after this live stream, I will drop for biology, and I will also drop for mathematics and government. So if you have friends who are also in the arts department, let them know about this channel. Now someone is saying I'm Weber. Now take note, up there we have Abdurrahman, we have Promise, we have Chioze, Andrew. Now this question is a little bit controversial. That is why JAMB will always twist simple questions. Questions that are simple, JAMB will be twisting them. Now look at, which of the following is the simplest? Which of the following is the simplest living organism? Is the simplest living organism? We have A, virus, B, plasmodium, C, paramecium, and D, amoeba. Can you see where it is very controversial? So now this question, a lot of people will be what? Confused, because virus, you know, virus is what? A very simple word, living word, organism. Someone just said virus. That is, for instance, Ikena. This is where the confusion is. This is where the confusion is. Where students will have what? Confusion. So now, let me explain. The answer is not what? Plasmodium. Neither is it what? Paramecium. So we are being left with what? Amoeba, and also left with what? Virus. Now, when you check these two, they are what? Simple what? Organisms, right? The virus is what? A simple what? Organism. The amoeba is also what? The amoeba is also what? A simple what? Organism. But the problem there is this: the virus cannot what? Live on its what? Own. When you remove a virus from the what? From a body and expose it to the what? Atmosphere, the virus will cease what? Existing. So for a virus to exist, there must always be a what? Host. So for virus to exist, there must always be what? Host. For virus to exist, there must always be a what? Host. So when you're talking about what? A simplest living what? Organism. When you're talking about what? A simplest what? Living organism, the correct answer is what? Amoeba. Because amoeba does not need what? A host. Amoeba can live on its what? Own. It can live what? Independent. Amoeba is what? Independent. But virus is not what? Independent. Although virus is also what? A simple living what? Organism. But when it comes to being most strict, especially like JAMB, because JAMB want to what? Test you. A lot of people want to put what? Virus. A lot of people want to what? Put what? Virus. That is where JAMB want to what? Test you. So the simplest living organism is the word amoeba. And why it is amoeba? It is because it is what? Independent. Let's move on to the next question. Let's move on to the next question. Let's move on. The plant that grows in desert or very dry areas are referred to as. If you are watching this video, drop in your dream JAMB score. But first, you are watching this video, and from the question I'm reading here, I don't expect anybody to score less than 90 plus. Yes, so I don't want anybody to score less than what? 90 plus. I say this is a Chernobyl. His blood is always, whether girl or whether a boy, his blood is always what? Hot. Before I even read the question, oh, he will drop answer. Before I even read this question, he will just drop what? Answer. So plants that grow in deserts are known as what? Xerophytes. So no need for me to write. Plants that grow in desert are known as what? Xerophytes. Now let me explain this word xerophyte. Desert is a place where there is no water, right? So for this plant, the name of this plant that grows in what? Desert. Let's say desert plant. It's known as what? Xerophyte. Now there is one particular characteristics or features they have that enable them to stay in this world desert, and it is their ability to have what? Spiny what? Leaves. Xerophyte have what? Spiny what? Leaves. Now, what is the function of this what? Spiny leaf? The function of this spiny leaf is to enable them what? Conserve what? Water. Is to enable them what? Conserve what? Water. Since there's no much water in the what? Desert, the little water they have to what? Conserve what? It. And they have this what? Special what? Characteristics of what? The what? Spiny what? Leaves. That is just it. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. The process, that is the next two questions, and we are ending the word live stream. Then we move on to our WhatsApp group. If you are not yet in our WhatsApp group, chat me up. My WhatsApp number is there, because after this live stream, we'll be moving on to our WhatsApp group, and from there we can be having one or two questions for what each other. We'll try to what? Brainstorm and what? Revise. So the next question is, the process in which complex substances. I don't want to read the question because if I read the question now, Chamobi will just give me answer. Eze Chamobi will just give me answer. Abdurraham, they will just give me answer. Even Miracle Promise. So I don't want to read the question. Let me write it first so that other people also get to see the word options. There are some people blocked here that are hot, and it is these people. After you are watching this live stream, I pray that God will perfect you, have up to what 90 plus in your word, JAMB word, biology, you can also in your word, chemistry, if you can score up to what 81 in your chemistry. A lot of people are not good in what physics. If you can score even 69 or up to 70, and your English is always hard to, let's say the truth, it's not hard, but JAMB twists it. So if you can score up to what 60, your word, go on. You will surely will get admission. You understand? So Eze Chamobi have already given me the answer. He says catabolism, you are what correct. It's like this guy is here with me. It's like he's looking at my question. We have Miracle Promise, I've already given me the answer. John Behim is giving me the answer. Jonas Celestin is giving me the answer. Oh more, this Chamobi, this Chamobi, God. So, but let me just say it to so other people will hear. Because some people used to get confused. If I follow Chamobi have already digested things. So the process in which complex substances, the process in which complex what substances are broken down into what simpler ones is referred as A. Metabolism, B. Anabolism, C. Catabolism, and D. Respiration. D is known as what? Respiration. So the answer there is what? Catabolism. Catabolism is a process in which what? Complex what? Substances are broken down into what? Simpler what? Ones. Catabolism means what? Breaking what? Down. See, this respiration here, it's not even related. This respiration is never related. So catabolism is the what? Breaking what? Down. So catabolism is what? Correct, because that is what? The question. Breaking what? Down. You get? Then anabolism is what? The build up.
Yes.
You always see questions on this, but your own turn now might not be on what? Catabolism, might not be on what? Breaking down. That is why I tend to what? Explain this word concept. Then metabolism is the what? Total what? Somewhat process. Is the total what? Somewhat process of the what? The total sum process of the what? Building up and the what? Breaking what? Down. You understand? Metabolism is the what? Total what? Sum process of the what? Build up and the what? Breaking what? Down. So therefore, metabolism equals to what? Anabolism plus what? Catabolism. So it is very, very important that you would understand what this concept, and so someone, because when I used to test people, you get to see that some people will get confused with this basic word stuff, and someone that is very familiar with metabolism will feel he or she is what correct, and the person will just go and choose what metabolism, not knowing that it has been channeled down to what catabolism, which is what the breaking word down. I also have a question here. It says the organelles. No, let me not read. Let me first of all write it, because I know people like Miracle, I know people like Berlin, people like Chamobi, they are very active. They are just waiting for me to read. These are people that have read their JAMB, their biology textbook from beginning to the end. So I will write so that other people will get to understand, and so that I will explain it too. So the question is, the organelles present in cells that are actively respiring, that are what? Actively what? Respiring. This is the past questions we did, if you can remember, right? That is why this is the past questions what we did. I am currently here with some of my JAMB students together for this what revision. That is why I always advise people in my videos I've been talking about it. Answer past questions from 2015 to 2024. I tell you, if you answer question from what 2015 to 2024, there is no how you will pass. You will fail your what? You will fail your what JAMB. Why? JAMB is still what using the word same word syllables. One, they are using the word same word syllables. Two, it is still the same word recommended word textbook. Recommended word textbook. So there's no way they want to set question that they will go and start digging from things that does not what exist. There's no how JAMB will set questions from away from their word syllables. Anything they are setting, whether anyhow they want to twist it, it must come from their syllables. Anyhow they want to twist it, must come from recommended word JAMB word textbook. So any question you are getting or anyhow you want to study, if you are writing tomorrow, I will just advise you to relax, get this concept and will relax. If you are writing on Saturday, try and see how you can go active on your past questions and answer. 2015 to 2024, you can never be wrong when you are using their past questions. That's what 2015 to 2024, you can never be wrong. You see same questions. I tell you, there are some people that will have luck, just like these people now that we are mentioning, we are reading their questions. It's very simple because you already know it. And why it's simple like that? Because you are not inside the exam hall. The exam hall comes with its own tension. So it's because you are not inside the exam hall. That is why you are feeling these questions are simple. This question is something like a walk in the park. It is when you enter inside the exam hall and you start feeling the tension when AC will start blowing you. You understand? You are saying questions. That is when you start catching code. So the question is, the organelles present in cells that are actively respiring and photosynthesizing and photosynthesizing which else? Let me see. Chamobi. Oh yeah, now people should come and answer now. We have Christian Eric is what? Correct. Christian Eric, you are correct. Mitochondria and chloroplast. Benlin, you are correct, but it's not complete. We say respiring and photosynthesizing. Yes, Joshua Okafor, you are correct. But you people are already giving me, and this thing is true. Respiring and photosynthesizing. So let me read Sean.
As a team, I don't know this one. You say you don't know that one. And when as a team, you say you don't know this one.
Okay, that's all like Let me see. You say I don't know this one though. Yes. Don't worry, let me explain. That's the major reason I want to explain it. So we say A. We have A, we say nucleus. The nucleus and the ribosomes. Is the nucleus responsible for respiration? I don't know. Is the ribosomes responsible for photosynthesis? I don't know. We'll find out. B. Mitochondria and lysosomes. Is the mitochondria and lysosomes responsible for respiration and photosynthesizing? I don't know. We will find out too. We have C. We have chloroplast and mitochondria. We have what? Chloroplast and mitochondria. And D, we have mitochondria and what? Chloroplast. So, what is the answer? We have the organelles present in cells that are actively respiring and photosynthesizing. We have A, nucleus and ribosomes. B. Mitochondria and lysosomes. C. Chloroplast and mitochondria. And D. Mitochondria and chloroplast. Christian Eric, you are what? Correct. Abubakar Mohammed, you are what? Correct. Wigwe Divine, you are what? Correct. If you are just joining the live stream, this is JAMB Biology 2025 Day 1 word questions. If you are just joining the live stream, so we also have a WhatsApp group where I'll be joining day by day questions and answers. If you need them, my WhatsApp number is there on the board 07062462746. Make sure you chat me up on WhatsApp and you'll be added to the group. So it says, hey, the nucleus is not responsible for respiration, because what we are looking at is the first one is for this, and the second one is for photosynthesizing. So the nucleus is not for respiration. The nucleus is it has the genetic integrity of the cell. It contains the genetic information of the cell. So A is for the nucleus is wrong. Ribosomes. Is ribosomes responsible for photosynthesis? No. The ribosomes is only responsible for protein synthesis, right? So A is wrong. B. Mitochondria and lysosomes. Is the mitochondria responsible for respiration, that is cellular respiration? Yes. The mitochondria is responsible for respiration. So this one is meaning correct. Then lysosomes. Is lysosomes responsible for photosynthesis? No. Lysosomes is responsible for the degeneration and the breakdown of dead cells. So this one is wrong. C. Chloroplast and mitochondria. Remember I said the first option, the first answer for this question, and this one for this. So chloroplast. Is the chloroplast responsible for respiration? No. Is the mitochondria responsible for photosynthesis? No. MD Sabah, you are welcome. We have someone from outside the country. We have someone from Bangladesh watching this video. That is MD Sabah Hassan. You are welcome to the live stream. Wow, this is for Nigeria students, but you are also welcome. You are welcome to the live stream. You are welcome to the live stream. You are welcome. For Michael, thank God for you, sir. Thank you, bro. Thank you. No, the main aim is to see how people, I see how students, I can help students in my own little way. So if you want to be part of our WhatsApp group, my WhatsApp number is on the board. Chat me up. I will. Abubakar Mohammed, you are welcome. You are the one. You're the one. The way that said it, you was one that look at me. Abubakar Mohammed, you are welcome. So let's continue. So the chloroplast is not responsible for respiration, and the mitochondria is not responsible for photosynthesis. The correct answer is D. What they did was to twist this thing. Instead of the one that is supposed to be here, you understand? The mitochondria is responsible for cellular respiration. Chloroplast. Now the chloroplast is responsible for what? Photosynthesis. The chloroplast is responsible for what? Photosynthesis. Viban to the wall. You are welcome. So the chloroplast is responsible for what? Photosynthesis, because it contains a pigment, a green pigment that is known as what? Chlorophyll. Yes. The chloroplast contains what? A green pigment that is known as what? Chlorophyll. A green what? Pigment. So the green pigment, in case you see a question like this, the green pigment in plants responsible for photosynthesis is known as what? The chlorophyll. And the chlorophyll is housed in the what? Chloroplast. So we have the next two questions, and we are off from this live stream. The next two questions, and we are off because that is the question I have right here with me. These are legit JAMB Day 1 questions. So that is where I'm going to end when I finish in the next two questions. Let me check the next two questions, and we are off. The next two questions we are off. Let me check. Let me check. Okay, I have a question here. The question is the process. Let me write. The process. Let me say chat. Let me see. Chamobi, people should be ready. Promise, people should get ready. Precious, you are welcome. Abubakar Mohammed, you are welcome. Eze Chamobi, thank you, thank you. You are also welcome. Thank you, thank you. So the question I have here, I believe this is. I believe my team members are also compiling. They are still compiling questions. You understand? They are still compiling questions. So I believe apart from this that drop here, questions will still be dropped. Question will still be dropped. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. JAMB, what JAMB does is JAMB can take up to 20, should I call it lecturers or 20 teachers, put them in a room and tell them to set questions. You understand? They'll put them in a room and tell them to set questions. So each of these people are setting different questions. Each of these people are going to say different questions. Now, when they say these different questions, there's something that's known as paper type. So you get to see something like paper type A, paper type B, paper type C. What this means is that those of you in a particular center, the people are writing the question that is set, probably let's say teacher A or teacher 1. You understand? That is why those of you in the same or whatever you get to see paper type A, B, C. And then in that paper type, the person that is sitting close to you, your number 1 will be that person number 20. And the person number 20 can be your number 10 or whatsoever. You understand? So that is what is known as paper type. So there will be more questions that will be dropped depending on how my team members are able to locate other JAMB centers and meet them and get these questions. Okay, for Michael, sir, please, I need the full video. Please, I did not come on time. Okay, if you are just joining the live stream and you want to get the full video, the moment you finish this live stream, this video will be available in the channel. So you just come to my channel. Make sure you subscribe, please. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can come back and watch this video from the beginning to the end. So let's answer this question. The process of transforming the chemical energy. The process of transforming the chemical energy of cellular cells. The process of transforming the chemical energy of cellular cells into the high energy bond bonds of ATP in cells is. Alright, before I continue with the class, Sadia, you are welcome. Sadia, I'm so happy that you are part of the live stream. How are you doing, Sadia? It's been a while. How are you doing? You haven't been active on WhatsApp. How are you doing? Alright, before I continue the class, I want to say a special thank you, a special shout out to Good Luck, and I can't get the other person number, but I know that Good Luck and Success. I want to say, okay, you have been reading. Okay, no problem. It's very important that this period you focus on your studies. What about the full videos in chemistry? I have dropped the video in chemistry. The video in chemistry is already ready. The physics and English, by tomorrow we are going to get the video for physics. But if you want the questions, the video is not ready for physics and English. But if you need the questions, you can get it. So before I continue, like I said, I want to say a special thank you to Good Luck and to Success. Good Luck and Success are part of the people that watched my chemistry live stream, and they chatted me up on WhatsApp. After adding it to the WhatsApp group, I asked for data because I didn't have data to make this video. Good Luck gave me data and Success gave me data on WhatsApp. So I want to say a special thank you to Good Luck and to Success. And you can also support this if you love this live stream. can also support this live stream. If you love what you are seeing here, that every day before you are, if you're writing on Monday or Saturday, if you love that I continue doing this stuff, sourcing for this what JAMB, by tomorrow I'll be dropping questions for day 2. If you love this, you can also support us by sending us data on WhatsApp. Can chat you up on WhatsApp. If you want to support us, you can send me what data. Thank you so much for good luck and success. So let's continue. The process of transforming the chemical cellular fuels into the high energy bonds of ATP in cells is, I've seen someone say like cellular respiration. I'm going to get back to that option or to that thing you just say about cellular respiration. So we say we have photosynthesis. We have what? So photosynthesis. We have B. Where is our B? Our B is what? Respiration. Our B is what? Respiration. Our C is what? Heredity. And our D is what? Non. By checking this option, which are the process of transforming chemical energy or what? Cellular fuels into the high energy bonds of ATP in cells, you get to find out that there's nothing related to what? Heredity here. Yes. We're not talking about genes. So there's nothing related to what? Heredity. And you cannot also say it is what? None of the what? Above. We can also say what? No. Chris and Eric, it is not none of the above. Obots, Etienne Abasi. He says B, you are correct. Chiagoze Andrew, you are what? Correct. Hazard, you are correct. Jonas Celestine, you are correct. Joshua Kafo, you are what? Correct. Joshua Kafo, you are correct. Tessa Desmond, you are correct. Wigwe Divine, you are correct. Chiagoze Andrew, you are correct. Eze Chamobi, answer is coming late too. I was expecting your answer to be number 1, but you are correct. You are correct. Eze Chamobi, you are what? Correct. So successful, you are also what? Correct. Successful, you are also what? Correct. Peace Mamuzo. Peace Mamuzo, you are what? Correct. The answer is what? B, which is what? Cellular what? Respiration. Now, although a lot of people will get to say it is what? A, that is what? Photosynthesis. Because photosynthesis is also based on what? The transformation of what? Chemical what? Energy. Photosynthesis is also based on what? The transformation of what? Chemical what? Energy. That is why, see, this C and D, they are not part of this question because I don't even know where they are coming from. Our major focus is what? This and this. A lot of people want to say it's what? Photosynthesis. You understand? A lot of people want to say it's what? Photosynthesis. But the correct answer is what? Respiration. You understand? The correct answer is what? Respiration. Because respiration is the process whereby glucose is being what? Broken what? Down. Glucose is broken down and release energy stored in what? ATP. I have Chiagoze Andrew says, sir, please can you drop only the questions here on YouTube? I'm not sure it's possible that I can drop text, like to drop only questions on YouTube. I don't know. I can, maybe I'll try to do it in my community post. I will see whether I'll be able to drop it. So later on after this live stream, check my community. But in case I'm unable to drop it, this is my WhatsApp number. If you chat me on WhatsApp, it's going to be very easy. Just on WhatsApp, you just get to get all these questions. Note that it's not only for biology. I have for chemistry. I have for physics. I have for English, and I have for government. I have for mathematics. I believe by now my mathematics questions are supposed to dropped on the WhatsApp group. So let me check whether I have any other question here. And if I don't have any questions, let me see. Let me just see. I'm trying to check the ones that we have answered. The ones that we have, let me see. The ones that we are unable to answer. Or the ones that I am yet to get. Oh, don't have WhatsApp. Wow. All right, bro. Try and check my community post. I will try to see how I can drop this on my community post. Okay, can you drop it in my email? can you drop it? Yes, it's possible to drop it in your email. But how can I copy this now? Let me look away and copy this. Is it available to drop it? All right. Copy this email. Drop your email. Chagoze Andrew. Drop your email. Chagoze, drop your email because we are almost through with the class. And when I end this live stream, I don't think you understand. So drop down your email. So I have one question here. Although this particular question, I have two questions here. But these two questions, the person that compiled it didn't drop options for me. So I am just thinking of just reading it out for us. I have the question here. I have two questions. But no option. I don't know why. I have two questions here, but no option. The number one, the question here is, which of the following distinguishes a butterfly from a moth? Which of the following distinguishes a butterfly from a... Let me tell you the truth. You see this particular question that I'm reading here? Sago Andrew, you are retracting your email. So you are retracting your message. So I don't know how I can send you this because I will soon end this live stream. I have options and nope, it's a chamobi. It is not abdomen. Yeah, it's like you have seen this. See, this is a chamobi. There is something he just dropped here that is related to the option. Although the person that sent me this compile one didn't put the word option. That is why I don't have option for this particular stuff. But it is not on the word abdomen. I have seen this in the word past question and word answer. And there's one a particular option there that is related to what abdomen. You understand? But it is not what abdomen. The answer, no, it's not eye structure. It's not what feather. It's not okay. So instead of replacing the feathers, instead of saying feathers, say wings when it comes to butterfly. So the correct option there, let me just give you the answer. Let me give you the answer so that in case you not see it too, because there's possibility that this question is going to what repeat. But this particular one I have here is no word. There's no word option. Joshua Carfor is not antenna. The answer is the wings of butterflies. The answer is the wings of butterflies. The wings of butterflies rest horizontally, while the wings of moths rest vertically. There's no option for it, but that is the perfect answer I can give to you. There's no option for it, but that is the perfect answer I can give to you because I have seen it in past questions. The wings of butterfly rest what horizontally, while the wings of what moths rest what vertically. So that is just it. I also have the next one, but I don't feel I should read it for us. Let me just see whether I can read it, and that will be the end for the class for this live stream. Okay, the question is the long and sharp claw feet. This is the last question for this one live stream. The long and sharp claw feet of birds. The long and sharp clawed feet of what? Of birds is an adaptation. It's an adaptation for. So this is the last question where I don't have options, and no, it is not for crushing seeds. It is not for crushing seeds. It is not for catching of prey. Catching of prey and picking the same thing. Alright. I said something. I said it is not for catching of prey. Berlin and Ezechomobi. Berlin and Ezechomobi. You are actually correct, but you are not correct all total. You are not correct all total, but you are correct too. Berlin and Chamobi. No, it is not for defense. So it is not for defense. It is not for defense. Berlin, you are actually correct too for catching of what prey. But the option here that would have been here, the option here is what I can see here, or the answer that was sent for me is for what? The tearing of flesh. Basically, the long and sharp claw feet of birds is an adaptation for what? Catching and tearing of what? Flesh. Although, if you check the option here, I don't have the option, but I believe there's nothing like what catching, because I have the answer that is C, which is what? Tearing of what? Flesh. So I believe it's going to be about the what? The catching and the what? Tearing of what? Flesh. It's a chamobi. Yes, Prince Mamozu, you are what? Correct. No feeding on nectar. No. It's not on. Someone just said Chagoze. Bless the matter, you have not missed. So you have not missed. You still have the opportunity of watching this video. You still have the opportunity of watching this live stream. So you can just go back to after this live stream ends, I will make this video public. So you still have the opportunity of watching it. Someone said feeding on nectar. Now feeding of nectar will let me say, I don't want to teach. That is what I am avoiding. The way people are answering questions says like I should teach, but I don't want to teach. I just want to answer what? Questions. I just want to answer JAMB Day 1 questions. I don't want to go and be teaching you biology. Just this particular point in time, it's not the time to teach. There are some people have already starting to write exam, and that is it. So bless the matter. Okay, that is just, you have not missed anything. Someone mentioned something. Let me summarize with this. Someone mentioned something about nectar. Let me check that statement again. Feeding on nectar. Feeding on nectar. Feeding on nectar. Someone mentioned feeding on what? Nectar. Nectar is a structure. Take note. Someone, Chiagoze Andrew, you are the one that is making me to go and teach you. Nectar is what found in what plant, right? So how do birds defend what themselves? That is it. The way people are now going, it's like I should teach, but this live stream is now 1 hour, almost 30 minutes. I don't want to teach you. Even this feeding on nectar now, I was just trying to see how I can just end this live stream because my questions are what finished. But let me just answer this. Answer this. Most stuff can be discussed on our WhatsApp group. This is my WhatsApp number. Most stuff will be discussed on them. So feeding on what? Nectar. Nectar is what? Plants, right? Flowers, right? Nectar is found in what? Flowers, right? Now, the long and sharp claw feet of birds is not responsible for what? Feeding in what? Nectar. What is responsible, or the structure that is responsible for feeding in nectars is found in what? Insects. Is found in what? Feeding in nectars is found in what? Insects. And this structure is known as the proboscis. This is known as the what? Proboscis. Proboscis. This structure is known as what? Proboscis. The proboscis is a long tube like what? Mouth part. So say what? A long tube like what? mouth part, a long tube-like mouth part used by insects. Used by what? Insects. Insects like what? Butterflies. Like used by insects like what? Butterflies. To suck what? Nectars. Chagoze, you are the one that just do this. I told myself that I'm not going to teach. You understand? But as you have made me to do like this to teach, let me just what teach. So that is just it. This is what JAMB Biology Day 1 was questions for what 24th of April. And someone just requested for WhatsApp group. Yes, group. This is my WhatsApp number 07062462746. Chat me up on WhatsApp. Chat me up on WhatsApp so that you can be added to our WhatsApp group where you will get access to what this daily what questions based on what physics, chemistry, government, mathematics, and the ones that my team members can what get. Note that JAMB Expo does not what exist. JAMB Expo does not what exist. You will see a lot of people that will also have access to this question. They will package it and be moving around, chatting people, entering people DM on Facebook and be posting about JAMB Expo. Please note that it does not what exist. Hard work will always what pay. You have come too far for you to what jeopardize your effort, to jeopardize your mind and limit yourself to what JAMB Expo that will be provided by someone who is not even a science student. Someone that is what looking for what money to just come to you and tell you that it's going to give you what JAMB Expo. Please note that it does not what exist. By the grace of God, I will be helping you with day-to-day what questions. So by tomorrow, by 12 p.m, start expecting questions. I will start dropping questions. I will be live streaming them, especially on what chemistry. So the moment the question drop, I will start with live streaming. We already did a live stream in chemistry. So if you are looking for today's question in chemistry, check our live stream. And this is today's questions for what biology. It has not yet finished because a lot of centers, you understand, a lot of centers are different questions. Just like I told you that different people are setting these questions, but you use a particular question set by a person in the hall. That is why a particular hall will have what type A, type B, type C, and the word rest. So if you love this video, Wigway Divine, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. Bless Matthew. Blessing Matthew, I can't remember your last question, but just know that you can chat me up on WhatsApp, you understand? If you need more questions, you understand, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. So that is just it for today, Biology Day 1. Read more. If you are writing tomorrow, I will advise you to what sleep or healthy. There's always this temptation of what using your phone. If possible for you to switch off your phone by 9 p.m, that will be very good for what you switch off your phone, eat healthy. Make sure you will eat what healthy and make sure you will eat what light. And tomorrow we will do biology. Yes, tomorrow we will do biology and chemistry. Please don't eat food that will turn your belly. Don't eat food that will turn your belly. And tomorrow when you enter inside the summer, it will be like a push. Belly is killing you. You understand? So that is just it. Believe in yourself, trust in God. Scoring up to 320 plus in JAMB TME is very possible. But you can only get this when you have the determination, confidence in yourself, trusting in God, and cutting off all distractions, focusing on what is really important. Once again, my name is Basi Ejoba. I'm a 400 level student in the University of Calabar studying medical laboratory science. Your dream is valid, and until I see you in my next video, always remember that you're wonderful, always remember that you're unique, and always remember that you're a pace setter. I really love you. Thank you. So I'm not getting the question.